What's up, guys? Welcome back to Tech Time. Today we're doing something a little different. We're going to be doing some build guides for you. I'm going to try and start doing this about a once a month thing, just to help any new PC enthusiast or any new PC builders coming through to have an idea of where to start. The way it's going to work is each month I'm going to pick two types of PCs to help you build, whether it's a HTPC, editing PC, gaming rig, an overkill, just above and beyond enthusiast rig. Just give you rundowns of parts, pieces that are compatible, and best way to buy them. I'm going to be using PC Part Picker to do all the picking, just because it's really good on prices. It helps you find the cheapest there is. It does a really good job at putting up the wattage and how much power it's going to draw, and of course it gives you the big lump sum of price at the bottom. This month, the two PCs are an HTPC, which home theater PC for those of you that don't know, and I would say a upper level entry gaming rig. And I'm going to start off by showing you the gaming rig and running you through the pieces and parts next, and I'll follow up with the HTPC. Every month I'm going to do at least one or two. Might be able to build one each month. I'm not 100% sure on that yet with pricing and availability. I will be building one of them for you this month, which will be pretty fun. Have a build guide going up for that, time lapse going through it all and showing you, and that's going to be the HTPC build. But to start off, I'm going to throw you in with the gaming rig. To start off, just going to go straight to, where did I put it? The processor, which we went with Intel because for gaming, Intel is one of the more powerful ones. You can get a lot out of an Intel processor, which you can by all means use AMD, but we're with Intel for this particular one. We're on socket 1151, so you can take advantage of the new Skylake and the Z97 chipset, which is very good for overclocking. This is an unlocked SKU, which means you have the ability to overclock them, which can give you a lot better performance throughout the processor's life. You can get a lot more, I guess, gaming boost, lack of a better term. Next, to follow up with that motherboard because that connects everything. I got the MSI Z170A. So in this case, you're actually taking Z170 chipset. I said Z97, didn't I? I don't know what I'm talking about. Good motherboard comes from MSI. I'm a fan of MSI. I've used their parts in old builds before. I like them. This comes with a lot of things that you would want in a computer, or sorry, in a motherboard. You got 4 DIMM slots, which you get that more memory, in my opinion, the better. You got a couple PCIe slots, so you can actually go two-way SLI or Crossfire, which they're getting a lot more games that actually support that natively. So it wouldn't be a bad idea maybe in the long run. It does have USB, where is it? USB 3 connectivity on the back, and you have a port on the motherboard to connect any front panel USB 3, which I personally really like. I use a lot of things. For that chip, you do have an overclockable chip, so logically you should overclock it. So we're going with the Cooler Master Hyper 212 Evo. You've all seen it. You've all may have used it. It's incredible. I've used it before actually in the past on an old AMD chip, and it worked amazingly well. Like it actually surprised me how much of an overclock I got on an AMD chip, which they just run hot all the time. Follow up with that, we got the RAM. Now you do get DDR4 RAM, which is really cool because it's a lot faster. The timings are a lot better, even when you can consider it like a budget DDR4 RAM. Blows DDR3 out of the water. I'm going with G-Skill, which I'm a little biased on. I like G-Skill quite a bit. I've used them in all of my builds. They work very well. They're very reliable. You just don't get a lot of problems. This is 16 gigs, which argument could be stated saying that's too much, but 16 in my opinion is the sweet spot. You can do 8 gigs, which is still probably enough for gaming. 16 I think is that sweet spot. Like I said, you can game all day long. You do all kinds of video streaming, You can even get into video editing if that's what you want. I mean, I have 16 gigs of DDR3 in my system. That's doing great for me, and I have to edit the videos you're watching. Maybe not this one, though. I just get lazy. But anywho, hard drives. It's a gaming rig, so I like stuff to be pretty snappy and fast. So you get 2 hard drives. First of which is an ADATA Premier SP550. It's an SSD. It's 120 gigs, so you can load up your operating system, whether it be Windows or Linux, whatever you want. Probably Windows, right? Yeah, I figured. Load that up, and then maybe one or two of your most favorite games. Like on this size, you might be able to get GTA 5 and like Doom, maybe. You'd be cutting it close. But that's why you have this guy, which is the Western Digital. It's a 1 terabyte drive. It's a WD Blue. I have 2 WD Blues set up in a RAID in my rig. They're very reliable. They're not too loud. 1 terabyte is going to hold all your games, photos, movies, anything like that that you want stored. I only put 1 in the system. It's all you really need. If you got an extra $60, get another one, set it up in RAID. Worst thing in the world is to have your system crash and not be able to recover it. Now the goods. The graphics card, which is going to really make this a gaming rig. You've got all your 1060s and 70s and 80s coming out, which overall they're all pretty competitive on the price. But I went a different route. It's a 980. GTX 980. It's a gigabyte WindForce. For 4 gig. It's a 4 gig card. For $380? Now, some of you may not remember, when these cards came out, they were like $500 and $600. I mean, they're the price of 1080. I think for the price you're paying, for the performance, and you get that gigabyte cooler, the triple fan cooler, it's an incredibly good card for the type of performance you're getting. You can spend the same amount and maybe find a 1070. Testing that you can see all through the rest of YouTube, people are kind of in the 1070 versus 980 realm. They're kind of going back and forth. One's doing better here, the other's doing better there. I went with the 980 just because I think overall it'd be a better bang for your buck right now. That could literally change in a week. I also threw in here, you want to have a good case to house all this stuff. So I went with a Fractal Define S. It's pretty small reasonably sized form factor. See if these will load. There you go. Oh god. Yeah, Newegg's takes so long to load. As you can see on the inside, you got rear exhaust and 2 for the front intake, which if you wanted to go with like an AIO liquid cooler, it's a great spot to put it. Will accommodate almost every motherboard out there except EATX. That gets a little tricky, a little finicky. But it's got a nice side panel window, which I really like. It lets you show off your build, and lets you look cool. You gotta let this thing look good. Got nice stuff in there. But that's going to provide plenty of room. It's got front USB 3. Again, that's a big thing for me. I like that a lot. Next up, power supply. You want something reliable. You don't want to, fry all your stuff as soon as you turn this thing on. Which is why we got the Corsair CXM 750. It is modular, just because, for the price and it to be modular, that's really good price. The cables are black, but they're not like super nice sleeves. They're just individual wired cables, but they're all black, so they won't stand out. No ketchup and mustard crap. 750 watt gives you plenty of overhead because let's see, the whole system is 372 watts. So you can put a whole other graphics card in and be fine. You can overclock, you can be fine. Comes from Corsair. It's 80 plus bronze, so it's going to be pretty efficient on the power. Nothing outrageous. But overall, that is the system. It's going to run you about a little over $1,000. I'm not including peripherals because I'm going to have to assume you guys at least have a TV. If you have a TV, you can technically put a computer to it. Won't look all that great sometimes, but you can use it. mouse and a keyboard. If you really got to get by, $30 will buy you both. But I'm going to leave that stuff up to you to get, and of course, an operating system. But next build is the HTPC build. We got it here. I'm going to start off with the processor. Went with AM. Oh man, messed that up. Hold on, let me bring up. There we go. No, wrong one again. There we go. I got the AMD for the chip, just to kind of keep it budget friendly. You don't want to spend a ton of money. It's the AMD A6 7400K. It is the K SKU. It's an APU, but we are going to be dropping in an actual discrete graphics card just to kind of help out with higher quality video and also being able to play some low level games. Nothing insane at all, just some low level stuff. Pretty good chip, and it's working off of a socket that actually allows a lot of upgradability. So granted, it's an HTPC now. You could easily drop a couple $100 in this later on down the road and get a pretty good system out of it. The AMD chip though runs very, very hot, so we're going to be using a Hyper T2, sorry, from Cooler Master. Literally, it's just a T12 size. It's like a miniature T12. Pretty good cooler. Don't expect like crazy overclocking, but you're not going to be doing that with this chip anyway. At least you shouldn't be. If you want to, by all means, go ahead, but I wouldn't advise it. Motherboard, we got the ASRock. Once again, FM2A68M-HD Plus. That is a mouthful. It's FM2 Plus, which allows you to actually upgrade to. AMD's got some pretty good processors on the FM2 Plus platform. $120 plus, which is decent price for a processor. It's not like it's crazy on Intel side, but will be more than capable of gaming. No problem if you want to upgrade to that. It's got USB 3.0 in the back. It's got USB 3.0 headers for front panel on a case, which is again something I looked out for. It's got 2 DIMM slots for your memory, because you're not going to be doing a ton of gaming on this and nothing overly demanding, at least as of now, so I didn't want to go too crazy. Speaking of memory, G-Skill, again, because it's reliable, it's affordable, doesn't crap out on you. This is a 2x4 kit, so it's 8 gigs, which is, your standard, I would say. Just, it allows you to do a lot. You can game, you can video, stream, all that. It's DDR3, but it's fast. It's 2400 speed. You'll get by. It's an easy upgrade path, though. You can easily put a better set of DIMMs in, faster speed, more quantity. It's an easy place to upgrade. For the storage, I only went with a single hard drive just for mass storage. You don't have to make it super crazy. It's 1 terabyte WD green. I picked it because it was cheap. That is it. Any 1 terabyte hard drive or even 500 gig hard drive, whatever works for you, will do just fine. At the same time, here we go. For the case, with the Silverstone PS08, which eventually it will load up. There we go. So not fancy by any means, but it can hold all your stuff, which is I guess what you really want in a case. It does have front USB 3.0 though, which is nice. I like that. Only comes with a single intake fan. No exhaust. So yeah, you might want to do some clever configuring with like your CPU cooler, maybe help pull some of that stuff out, or maybe even your power supply. That's probably my only con, but $10 you can drop in a fan. Nothing terrible, but you don't really need it because you won't be generating that much heat. Power supply, went with Corsair again because they just have really good priced and really reliable power supplies. CX430, it's the Builder series, so it's pretty straightforward. It's not modular. It's all the cables you will ever need, plus more, because who uses Molex? I don't. I've never used Molex. 80 plus bronze rating. I always try to at least get an 80 plus bronze rating at the bare minimum, just so you have like good reliability and dependency, and it's not terrible on the power bill. Another thing, remember, power bill. Be polite. I do, however, in this one have a DVD reader and writer. Because it's an HTPC, I have to assume some of you still use discs. There you go. Put your DVDs in it. If you have Blu-rays and you want to use a Blu-ray writer, just go for your whatever brand makes you happy, cheapest Blu-ray reader. It doesn't have to be overly fancy. The biggest thing is the software, whatever software you use to help you play these videos best. This right here, it's using 160 watts total power. Oh crap! Almost forgot. Graphics card. I actually had to put it in manually because if you go here to choose a graphics card and you hit the GTX 750, let's do it. Where is it? Remember, not TI, just GTX 750. You're getting. Oh wow! No, okay, now they have one. Well, this is the one part I do have on hand. It's a MSI Twin Frozer Edition. Well, it doesn't even have a price listed on this, so I manually put that in. If you look around on like Craigslist and eBay, you should be getting the card for around $120, give or take a few bucks, but about 120. So that adds a little bit more to the price. So the actual wattage will be up closer to the 250 range. It's not the world's most, I guess, power efficient card, but it's not going to run you overkill. Total price of this whole system, $420, minus peripherals and operating system. Really not that bad for what you're going to be using it for. Just Blu-ray playback, video streaming, and like small light gaming. Nothing crazy, but it gives you a lot of paths to upgrade. You got a lot of ways to improve it. Drop a couple $100 in for a new graphics card. Drop $100 or so bucks in for a quad-core processor. Stuff like that will really help this build go a long way and get a lot of use out of it. Those are the builds for this month. Like I said, I will be building this HTPC. That video will be coming out kind of soon. Be an August build, and then at the end of August I will be doing another one of these videos, kind of breaking down and showing you 2 more builds. I haven't really decided on what I'm going to have those builds as. I'm thinking about doing like a 1060 versus RX 480 build, and like keep one all AMD and the other one Intel and Nvidia. Those are the 2 newest and cheapest graphics cards on the market right now. So I was thinking maybe going that route, or maybe just going above and overkill and GTX 1080 and Titan X. I don't know yet. But stay tuned. Hit subscribe and like the video. You can always come back and check out the next one I make. Leave a comment down below if you feel indifferent about this video, or you just want to say, hey, these builds suck. Or be like, hey, I think you're doing pretty good. Cool, man. Keep up the good work. I'd like to see that comment. But in any case, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching. You guys all have a wonderful day, and I'll see y'all in the next video.